Hi, my name is Hachi, and this is Zero to Scale, a video series where we talk to African founders about how they built their businesses from day one. On today's edition, I'll be speaking with Ijeoma Akwiwu, the COO of Pivo, an African fintech that is looking to build banking for trade for African businesses. It looks like it's about to rain now, and we have to go and get her, even if we have to swim through Lekki Woods. Let's go. We're live now, right?
Yeah.
Or more. As you can see, I don't know if you can see, but it's a rainy day here in Lagos, and I found my first founder. So we're about to go talk to Ijeoma of Pivo and learn a little bit about what has made Pivo the business it is today. I want us to quickly get out of the rain because, I don't want to get drenched and stuff. But yeah, Ijeoma is somewhere around, so follow me. We'll find her soon. Hi, Ijeoma. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Finally.
Finally. My name is Hachi. I'm the host for the day, and we'll be taking you from here to our venue, so where we go talk about Pivo and how you got Pivo to where it is today.
Awesome.
But how are you doing?
Okay.
How's Lagos treating you?
Lagos, oh my God. So I have been in London for the past 2 years.
Oh.
And I just came back, when was it now? I try to come in once a year.
Okay.
So I came in this time around in, when was it? August. Yeah.
Okay,
to
last
come
month.
and, yeah. Right in time for September, which was like our YC, the end of YC batch,
Okay.
and, the Google Black Founders Fund announcement and everything. So a lot of activities brought me back here.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Lagos has been very stressful, man. Like Lagos has gotten worse. I don't know what's happening in this country.
I like Lagos, so I'm on the defensive here.
Why? Why are you on the defensive?
Because I like Lagos.
For your flood and your traffic.
I'm just curious. How did you meet your co-founder?
This question, everyone asks this question. So, I met my co-founder about 8-9 years ago.
Okay.
And she crashed my birthday party.
Oh.
Yeah. So I had a birthday dinner, and I knew the friend that she came with.
Okay.
And I was like, asking my friend that, like, you didn't tell me you're bringing a +1, but it's okay, it's fine. And lo and behold, in Canada we have this picture where like I show her all the time, like I'm going to blow it up and put it in the office. So when people come in, they'll be like, why is this picture here?
Yeah.
Because I was like, she was just there by my left-hand side. I'm like, who would have thought? 8-9 years down the line, building a multi-million-dollar company together.
That's insane.
And we laugh about it. But yeah, that's how I met her. Like during the dinner, we just chatted everything. Then that was in Abuja. I used to live in Abuja.
Okay.
By the way. So in Abuja, and the problem in Abuja is that when you meet someone once, you start seeing that person everywhere. You start seeing that person everywhere. So I started seeing her around, and we started moving in the same circle of friends. And as usual, when conversations happen, you just realize that, this person thinks the way I think. This person, we had similar things, right, in common. Then I think the most interesting part was when, we became friends, outside of other people. And it was a matter of, okay, now we've got to know each other, what we do and stuff like that. And when we'll go after work, we'll go for drinks, and it'll be a matter of like, oh my God, my day was hectic. What happened in your day? She would say, what happened in your own day? I would say, and it'll be a matter of like, if it were you, what would you have done differently? And she would tell me, and same thing for me. And we're like, oh, we actually do, have a business acumen, that could work.
Could work in sync.
Yeah. So, well, I guess, time and chance happened. And before Pivo, we actually had a previous business called Source Pro. Now, Source Pro was, or it still is, but it's the least favorite child at the moment. Let's build people to what we
this
know.
Just for clear, this happens to all firstborns. This is what happens to all firstborns.
So yeah, so Source Pro is a source to procurement platform for agro commodities. And what we used to do was we'll get POs to fulfill for like all them cashew, soya beans and the likes for exportation to like Canada, America and the likes. And when we'll get it, so because our integrity is on the line, we cannot afford to mess up. Everybody was hustling to make sure that we fulfill and we're not breaking our word. And while we're doing that, the whole issue of financing kept coming up, right? From the point that you have to find the farmers, you have to send someone into the the field to source for those products. By the time you find the farmer that has the produce and the harvest and all of that, transporting it from the farm to point of storage, storage to the point of where they export and stuff like that. So all these issues, we started finding ourselves doing personal favors. Madam, we need the money to move this. Madam, we need money to hire this. Madam, and we're like, why can't you people do these things? But isn't it business that you're doing? And the whole thing of if we go to a bank, we're just too small for them. Or, I have to still ask my family and friends for this. And they have done me too many, favors. So it's a matter of, please, ma, just help me so I can do your work. And we're like, this is actually an issue that we need to solve. Nobody is solving it, at this scale. So I guess let's try and solve this for these, supply chain SMEs. And literally that's how Pivo was born. And we're like, what? Who knows? We're going back to. I like to say that we're working backwards, right? We will definitely go back to Source Pro, but let's give financing is an important part of any supply chain, any economy. So let's get it right, then we'll go back to that. So
we literally had to dodge the rain to get here. We swam a bit because the roads were flooded. So
go and buy your SUV.
Or Ikeno.
Yeah.
I think Ikeno is like. It's cheaper. That's what I can afford now.
People are kayaking outside.
Thank you for making it down here. What were the early days of Pivo like? How did you start it?
Okay, so it's worthy to mention I'm not alone on this journey for Pivo. I have a co-founder, Nkiru, and she's the CEO and more or less like the captain of the ship. Because prior to Pivo, she was working with Coba 360. Before she resigned and started Pivo with me. Early days of Pivo was literally us always like brainstorming on what to do, apart from our learnings from Source Pro, her learnings in Coba 360, my learnings from, my wealth of experience as a lawyer into everything, anything, right? And Nkiru literally woke up one day and she was like, Ijeoma, we have to do it. It's fintech that's the next thing we're doing. I'm like, okay. So what's the fintech thing that we're doing? Clearly, we know what the issues are financing. So what's the fintech thing that we're doing? Our spin on it was to focus on supply chain SMEs. The early days were literally us just bootstrapping, putting our money where our mouth is, just to ensure that we built out our MVP by ourselves. Ourselves in the sense that Nkiru is like more of a technical co-founder. Like she went to school, studied computer science, has a master's in business analytics. I am just a newbie in the game. Like I just got my master's in software development just to understand the whole process. And we got a team of engineers and went to work. And we got our MVP out by last year. So we started this journey, Pivo got incorporated in June of last year. And so from July to September, we built out our MVP. And by October, we hit the ground running in operations. So that's what the early days looked like.
Okay. So what specific kinds of businesses does Pivo provide financing for in the early days? Okay.
In the early days until now, we don't forget our early customers. But we focus on, when we say SMEs in the supply chain sector. Now, when you look at every value chain, there are always constant actors. You have, the logistics service providers. These are the people that move your cargo from point A to point B. You have the suppliers, basically people supplying the materials for whatever manufacturers will produce. Then you have the distributors, basically people that are distributing whatever that has been manufactured, right? You have the retailers buying from the distributors to make sure that you have a wider reach of whatever it is. You have the importers, you have the exporters. These are more or less like the international, movement of whatever cargo that has been produced. And finally, you have the end customer. So in every value chain, you have these constant players in it, right? So we went to market with, focusing on the logistics service providers. And why that? Because again, from our personal experiences, Nkiru, from where she was working in, she saw firsthand what it was. Me personally, like I mentioned before, I come from a family of transporters, right? And I know the difference, what early liquid, would I say, being liquid at all times, the difference it will make, right?
Yeah.
Saying that, I want to do 10 things at once, right? I need to have the capacity to do these 10 things. But however, the reality is that once I finish one job and I invoice, it will take probably 30 days, 60 days, 90 days for them to pay me back. So what do I do in between all of that? Do I just sit down and be like, okay, let my money come? Or worst case scenario, I go to the banks, take on some loan that might not be favorable for my business, or I go to my friends and family, or I go to a loan shark and all of that. So I know firsthand the difference that could have made. So we went to market with logistics service providers because those are the first people that you reach out to when you need to move your cargo.
Yeah.
Whether it's from the ports, whether it's from a farm, whether it's from your storage, anything, they're very instrumental, right, to your movement. And the key thing there is that, again, for them to be like, how can I put this now? First responders, right, in the case of an emergency.
Yeah.
Now, when they're moving your cargo from the ports, you know how important it is to get your cargo out of the ports, because the moment you don't, you're already accruing demurrage, all sorts of penalties and interest on that. So imagine all of that, the impact it has on businesses that don't have access to quick financing that, would enable them do better. So that's literally what Pivo was, out to do. But now we've slowly, not surely, but we've slowly moved away from, the logistics service buckets to other buckets of, the other actors I mentioned, especially with the distributors and retailers. Because good thing that you get to manufacture or produce anything, but how do you get it out there? How do people interact with your products? How do people consume your products and all of that? So we're experimenting with those buckets, and so far so good.
There's a bit of a confusion for me here because I was reading up on Pivo's model. Do you actually give money to people, or do you help them finance the goods they're buying, or maybe trucks or how does Pivo's financing work?
Okay, great. So we only work with businesses only. We don't work with people. So we only work with businesses, right? And what we do is transaction-based financing. Okay. You get this question all the time about, what's the difference between this and that, right? Every other person might be doing SME lending, where it's a matter of, okay, if this SME just wants to come and say, I need X amount of money, you give to them, right? And what you just do is just cash flow kind of analysis and, all of that. But for Pivo, the difference is that we look at the transaction in question. You cannot come to us just, I need money. You must come to us with, I have this transaction I need to fulfill, or I have fulfilled it and I've invoiced, so buy off this invoice. It's called invoice discounting, basically. What we do is, we finance a transaction in question. So you're coming to us, I have this transaction for this amount. So we look at the SME, we look at the transaction in question, and we look at the end customer, who is the ultimate beneficiary of the deal. And that's how we make our decision and we lend and provide other financial services, because for us, we want to be the one-stop shop for these guys. So it's not just a matter of, okay, I need credits, I need working capital, I need asset financing. It's a matter of like, you need a bank account, come to us. You need a debit card, come to us. You need every other thing, come to us.
So if I hear you correctly, Pivo is not just financing. Pivo is looking to build a bank for businesses.
Digital bank for trade.
For trade.
That's the vision. So you know Afrexim Bank, right? The African Export Import Bank.
Oh yeah.
So we want to be the digital version of that.
Oh, for trade. That's
facilitating
that's
trade
sweet.
across the continent.
That's sweet. That's interesting, because I know of people or business owners, right, who have gotten into serious trouble because they were not able to, maybe they sent an invoice and then the invoice was taking 90 days or something, and then because they also required credit, maybe they required some credit to finance the deal. Now their creditors are asking them, they're like, oh no, sorry, I have this invoice,
and tied up.
And then money's tied up, and then they can't even get new business. Simply, you can't get new business. Your creditors are on your neck, and it can get really messy.
Just flowing from what you said, we all experienced COVID, and how like every business was supposedly messed up during COVID, right? And what was everyone's business recovery plan? The smaller guys didn't have one. The bigger guys did, because every person wants them to succeed. Like no one will want a Coca-Cola to fail. No one will want the people that if their product goes out of this thing, everybody's in problem. But the small guys that service them, the small guy that has to move the cargo after production to the store and all of that, what happens to them? Or what happened to them? Most of them were struggling to recover, right? And even the banks were overlooking them. We saw that opportunity and we're like, you know what? These people deserve a fair shot at recovery. And that's how Pivo, plugged and played.
Like I said, I definitely see the need for Pivo, for the problem that Pivo is solving. And I know how, when Nigeria, I know how wide scale that problem is. I know, because I don't know, but FMCGs, I'm sorry for calling out FMCGs, but FMCGs in particular are notorious for paying invoices very, very late.
Do you know why? Can I tell you why?
Okay, go ahead.
Cool. So with them, there's always a struggle with operations and financing, right? At the end of the day, it's their business they need to protect. Yeah. So they need to keep on manufacturing and processing whatever it is. They need to import whatever materials that they're producing. If they haven't taken that headache off their own heads,
they can't solve your problem.
They cannot solve your problem and give you business to do. So again, that's where Pivo comes into play. Since you want to focus on your operations, allow us to focus on your financing to ensure that your own supply chain doesn't break. So we are the link between them and the small guys. That's
fantastic. Who said this? I forgot something about a plant going out the window when the punch hits your face. I think it's Mike Tyson. There's a Mike Tyson quote about your plant going out the window when the punch hits your face. Yeah. What were some of the first punches that hit you guys and you went, okay, maybe we need to go back to the drawing board?
To be honest, none yet. And this is why I'll say so. Because we came into the market with a niche focus, with a niche approach. We didn't come trying to be everything for everyone. We knew who our target customers were. We knew that, we're not going to be expending money trying to acquire everyone and see who sticks. It's a matter of we're strategic. We know what for supply chain SMEs. Where do we find these SMEs from? Now, the struggle has been, these SMEs are already getting financial services from every other person. You have a commercial, but every person, every business, individual already has accounts with various other financial services, right? But getting used to a bespoke financial services that just tailored for your need, for your business, has been, the hassle, right? Where you're trying to win them off the commercial banks and every other thing that they're, and bringing them over to the side of, this is just for me. So that's where the struggle has been. And in terms of adapting, right? Again, like you say, you roll with the punches. One great thing I'm grateful for, especially, it has been the YC experience. Because YC's mantra is, build what people want. So it's a matter of always speaking to your customer, finding out what their pain points are, finding out how you can always help them at every step of their business, right? And just being there. So that has been the main thing, to ensure that you're doing what your customer needs. So
fantastic. You mentioned that you go into YC. What was that like? I mean, you get into YC that's like big boy stuff.
That's like Ivy League.
Exactly, it's the Ivy League of startups, like the Harvard of startups.
That's like collecting stones like Thanos, right?
Yeah. In Nigeria, Africa generally is almost like the infinity gauntlet of startup success. Yeah. So how did that happen?
The YC story. So I think Nkiru will be in a better position to tell you, because, for me, right, I've not always been a tech bro, right? She's the tech bro, the tech sis, right? Yeah. So she understands, I always ask her all the time, like checking with her, like, how do you feel? How do you feel about it? Because for me, it's just like, I've always been a curious person. I've always been a problem solver. That's why I became a lawyer and stuff like that. So I would once I see your vision, I will make it happen for you, right? So I think you need to ask her differently, like, how do you feel? But anyway, we applied to YC, once. The first time we didn't get in. This is the second time we got in. Right?
Like,
no, sorry.
First time
No. So we applied to YC, last year, the winter batch, and we didn't get in. Despite the whole, you guys were one of the most impressive applications and all of that. And you know how that can be, like, as of last year, our minds were on it, YC or nothing, we must do it. Imagine us just launching how many months, and that was the shot. But when we didn't get it, we were like, it hurts. We won't lie, but we just went back to, to the drawing board. And like, you know what, let's just keep grinding, keep doing what we do, improve our numbers, attraction, all of that. And who knows? Summer batch came and we got an email from them. Like, you guys are actually one of the most impressive, like part of the impressive applicants of last year of the winter batch. So apply again. And me, I'm this kind of person. If something doesn't work, I'm quick to just keep it moving. Like, it was nice trying out, thank you. And Nkiru just woke up one day and she's just like, Ijeoma, let's apply for this thing. I'm like, are you sure? Are you, because you didn't take it easy the first time. Are you sure you're ready for
second rejection?
Hey. And she's like, I'm just going to do this. Let's see how it goes. I said, okay, fine. I'll fill out my own part of it. Fill out your own part and let's see. And to God be the glory.
From your perspective, what are the things that have made Pivo work?
Interesting conversation or question. What has made Pivo work? Yeah. I think for starters is the drive of the founders. That has been the main fuel, because if you do not have capable people driving whatever vision it is, it won't happen. I'm so sorry. So yes, myself and Nkiru just knowing what we wanted to do and getting to it. That's one. Secondly, the team behind us making it work. We get pulled in different directions, right? We have the role as founders, we have the roles as, CEO, COO, we have the role as, trying to get investors, the role of trying to get customers and the likes. But, we have to start delegating to other people that make, the tech work, that make customer acquisition work, that make, even communications work. So our wonderful team has made it work. Also the investors that we've had behind us, to be honest. It's a different ball game, right? When you're doing things by yourself and bootstrapping, but having access to investors that are willing to go above and beyond to make sure that, your business is working. That has also been part of the success story that Pivo is. Finally, also the customers, man. If the customers are not buying whatever it is that you're selling, you are dead in the water. So we are grateful that the customers have been open to hear us out, have been open to at least use the technology. Because I even forgot this aspect. Most of our customers, right, are not really tech savvy.
Figured.
That was a problem.
I figured.
That was a blocker. So we actually found ourselves doing the hand holding. Let us do it. In fact, we'll automate everything for you. We'll do this, we'll do that. And that's the beauty about actually communicating with your customers. Because from, oh my God, I don't want to do this, to, okay, I see that this could be done faster, this could be done better. And they've been eased into it. So we just want to make sure we're doing that exponentially than what we are doing right now. So those are the little things I can say has made Pivo work so far.
I mean, so your answer is also pulling me in a lot of directions.
Yeah.
Of questions to ask.
That's business.
It's business. And I'm in the business of asking questions today. You mentioned investors. I know from reading about Pivo that First Check was...
Our first check.
Your first check.
Yeah.
I want to ask, what has been the impact of First Check investing in you guys? So I think you were one of the first companies that First Check invested in.
We're the fifth company.
Fifth. Okay.
Yeah,
fifth.
number 5.
So number 5, what has been the impact of First Check, of getting that First Check from First Check?
Great. So, what a First Check does? It signals to every other person that there's something valuable. And it's just human nature, I think, where something might just be there, staring in the face. It's valuable, but more... because everyone is not rushing to it, you just, it's fine. So the impact of First Check's first check was that, hey, we believe in what you're doing. And we just want to give you that, confirmation or affirmation that, yes, go ahead and succeed. And they wrote that check, and there's a difference between speaking to investors and they're asking you, so how much have you raised? And you're just like, so we're still talking to and then when you're coming in, so how much have you raised? Okay, so we've closed the check from this person and that person, and it's like, okay. And they go and do their due diligence and they ask other people their thoughts and all of that, because these investors, they talk to themselves, so that's the truth. So if you think you're talking to one person, well, yeah, I'm digressing. But yeah, that was the impact, basically opening that door to other investors to have that confidence that, yeah, there's actually a business case here for these women and we're willing to back them. And the rest is, well, it's still happening. The future is here, it's still happening, so yeah.
Moving on from there to operations, I'm interested in how in your people operations so far. And we were talking earlier and you mentioned off camera that you run a hybrid system at work. So have you been able to ensure productivity in that hybrid system?
The truth is, it's not been easy. That's the truth. And again, running a business in Nigeria, in Lagos, not been easy. However, I guess COVID forced us to see, that there's life outside the four walls and being changed. I keep saying before, like my traditional 9 to 5, when I was still working, I had an employer. They gave me golden handcuffs and they chained me to my table because they wanted to see that, the money I'm paying this person, I'm more than But COVID changed everything and, made us see that, you don't need to be bound within the four walls of an establishment to do your work. Now, coming to Pivo, right? We came to accept that, hey, we need to be flexible. First and foremost, because, commuting to work eats into your, even your productivity levels. By the time you get to your office, you're tired and, you're pushing yourself through the day. So we said, okay, first 5 working days of a month, come in and work. Every other week, it's all up to you how you decide to share your time. However, there's something called the company values, right? Smart work over hard work. And we're not interested in micromanaging anyone. So once you know that during the beginning of the week, like from Monday to Wednesday, we have like in-house meetings for the various departments, whether it's legal, operations, engineering, communications, marketing, finance. We set meetings where at the beginning of the week, we all set our tasks, whatever you have to do. So by the end of the week, you should know that you have knocked it out. So however you choose to do it, though, whether you're waking up by 1 a.m. to do your work, as long as you have delivered it at a set timeline, you're good to go. So that's how we've been able to do that. But the downside to that too is that, working from an office where you see everyone fosters that, interpersonal relationship with your teammates. Not necessarily because we're family, but because, it's actually necessary when you're able to, like, that physical touch or physical presence to read people, to even have conversations outside what work has brought you guys together for, helps you understand that person better. And working remotely, there's some days that some people would have an off time or an off whatever is going on in their day, and it actually tells through their work or tells during their meeting. And it's a matter of, how do I navigate this? And it's not everyone that has that, when I say sixth sense, to know when someone's tone has changed or someone's this has changed. So it's been an interesting mix handling all of that. I mean, I'm in charge of operations, so you can imagine the headache that's on my head.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it's been interesting. But above all, it's just, are you doing your part for the overall success of the company? Are you doing your part to make sure that as an employee, and take off the employee tag as a person, I hope you're doing well too.
On the other side of people managing people, you have a co-founder, right? You talked about her earlier. She's CEO, you're COO. How have you been able to manage your co-founder relationship where you guys are going on 2 years in now, and you're still you're not
amicable.
You're still amicable. You're not fighting. You're not fighting. How do you guys manage that?
So to be honest, every day is not Christmas. And that's the truth. Every day isn't Christmas. But early on, like the early days of Pivo, we set out our do's and don'ts. Where we have the rule of thumb is this. When there's an issue, it's not me versus you. It is us versus the issue. And we should try our best not to cross that line, right? We acknowledge that there are good days and there are bad days. So if you need to blow off steam, if you need to do whatever it is, just do it as calmly as possible. Or if it's not calm, you're allowed to, for lack of better term, to shalaye if you want to, right? But at the end of the day, do it with respect, do it with, just do it calmly. Me, I'm a very calm person, so just, whatever you need to do. But at the end of the day, it's a matter of how do we solve this problem? And is it serving the company eventually? And is it, at the end, is it serving the company? Is it serving the customers? Is it serving whatever objectives that we have set out to achieve? And if the answer is yes, great. If the answer is no, take a step back, reassess the situation, and let's see how best to move forward. So that's what we chose to do.
That's really important. I think that approach is genius for collaboration, which is it's us against the problem, not against one another. What are some of the things that you've done at Pivo that have helped you scale so far?
Have we really scaled? Because I think right now, because we're in the middle of a seed round, right? And this is where this is where the work starts. It's all nice and cute. You've acquired your first 100 customers. So how can you get it to 1,000? How can you get it to 100,000? So I think we're at that stage. And for us, it's more or less identifying the value chains that we want to be deeply embedded in. Earlier on, we just realized that chasing too many customers one by one isn't going to be as effective as everyone would think.
Yeah.
Because I remember when in YC, one of our group advisors was like, so what's stopping you from just going from, wherever they stay and just onboarding them? You made them a guy. Do you really think that is how it works in this part of the world? No. For us, achieving scale is getting to the owner of the value chain, the people that, want to ensure that their own supply chain doesn't break, and offering, the value proposition to them, and how we can the trickle-down effect to the people that service them. So it's a top-to-bottom approach that we're doing. So that's how we're achieving scale at the moment.
That's beautiful. We're going to close with lessons you've learned from building Pivo. Now, you've run this business for a year plus now?
October will make it a year.
October, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm pretty sure you've learned some pretty interesting lessons along the way that might be useful to other people. So if you can share some of these lessons with us.
Okay. Lesson number 1, always stay open to learn, right? Like you said before, you can have a plan. And by the time you get into the water, all that plan is out of what you're saying is a different ball game. So stay open to learning, stay open to adapt to whatever situation it is. Try not to get overwhelmed whether by yourself or, whatever is happening in-house, or even competition. Because in this space, there's a lot of mind games that happen, especially with all the announcements and all the collaborations and everything. But there's something in law they call, the doctrine of lifting the veil, the corporate veil, where you have to, according to them, the bride is beautiful. When you take off the veil and you take off the makeup, what really is going on behind the scene, right? And it's a matter of stay true to that journey, to ensuring that, even if they remove the veil, daylight, at night, everything, it's on point. Don't be distracted. Thirdly, for me, I'm just grateful that I have someone or like-minded people on this journey, right? Whether in terms of my co-founder or my team, or in terms of the investors that chose to take a chance on us, we're just grateful for that. So please never stop looking for the people that will be very, very active in making your dreams work, right? This dream started from Nkiru and myself, and other people now are keying into the vision. And just because we kept on applying, keep applying. Well, that's another thing. Just keep applying to whatever, whether it is that you're looking for external funding or possible collaborations. Just keep asking. Worst case scenario, they tell you no. And also grow a thick skin, because he knows. When you ask me that, how is it going? The highs are high. When everybody's like, oh, YC, oh, Google, oh, this, that, the highs are high. But the nights, the days that we spent doing applications, going through investor interviews, having the no's, people having to look into your books, asking you questions. By the time the questions jam questions, and you answer, and at the end of the day, oh, we're really sorry. So why did you put us through that stress if you didn't even understand what we're doing, right? But just get ready for everything. It's a journey, and everything I feel is an experience that's going to make you a better person for whatever you plan on doing in life. So,
all right. I'll take that, and that's on Harvard Business School, people. Harvard Business School. Thank you so much for coming to do this with us. We have one more thing, so we're going to play a game now.
I thought you said I was doing music. Did you switch it on me? Hey.
So we don't have. If I'd known, we might have gotten a DJ set. If I knew you were into that, so you DJ a bit for us.
Yeah.
But what we have today is we have a Ludo game, and first person to get a win wins the game. So,
and what's the win? Either you kill somebody or you go to your home.
Actually, yes, anyone. So either you kill somebody or you go to your home. Okay. If you're watching this you're not Nigerian and you're watching this, we don't actually kill people when we play Ludo. It's an expression for taking out someone's piece in the game.
And what are the rules? Because everybody, there are different rules.
We'll play classic Ludo. You roll your dice, you count.
So if you get a 6, you start.
Yes, if you get a 6, you
Please be
start.
very clear about this.
Wow,
Because I see people fight
I'm
over
sweating.
this.
She's very competitive. This looks like it's going to be
Tell me
competitive.
the terms and conditions, man.
Yes, single 6 you come out, double 6
Okay.
you can push out to, or regular classic you do.
6-5. Where you roll a 6-5? What's that?
When you go this way, 6 then you count your 5. No.
See, these are the issues. 6-5
Oh my-
is that you go home.
You go home. No,
Yeah.
no. What rules are those? I don't know those rules. Classically do. Classically do. Classically. So
Calm. That's calm.
We'll do that. I'll let you go first since I am your host.
Okay.
So,
So am I yellow and blue or?
yes.
All right. So here we go. Oh.
Okay. May the 6s be with us.
Amen.
They are.
he has.
They are. I see we are playing a very dangerous game here. Okay, my rule again.
No, stop. My favorite.
Let me roll again. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my god. This game is about to end before it even starts.
Well, it could be a 6-2. I got the 2, but not the 6. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
In front of me. So yeah, you were talking about scaling
Yeah.
that time. So yeah.
So the game is literally over, but I'll let you figure that out. Scaling right now, what does that look like? That's why the progress we've done so far, or we've made so far, has been basically word of mouth, referrals, and the goodwill that we came with, right? From our various, jobs before we started Pivo. But for now that we're at that seed stage where we're raising money, now we can go into active, aggressive customer acquisition, right? We can do more marketing. We can get more hands on ground. That's our expertise on onboarding more customers and getting us in the room of the owners of the value chain. And also scaling for us looks like expansion. Right now we're only in Lagos, and we intend to go to other states, commercial heavy states within Nigeria, and also internationally. So, part of being in the business is to hedge against all the economic factors. And, the Naira is a very special currency. So it would be nice to earn some other currency that can help, our profit margins. Okay. And yeah, that's what scale looks like for us at the moment.
How do you manage running a business from the UK?
It's been interesting because, again, I don't get to do it alone. I have a co-founder that is here in Nigeria, and her in Nigeria, they're 5 and 6. She doesn't want to go anywhere. And I really understand that too, because, left to me, I wouldn't leave Nigeria. But I went there because of school, and I'm there now for the moment. So running the business from there is that, we split our roles, our tasks, right? If you have to do physical meetings, you do physical meetings. And most of our, our clients are not really like that Zoom or Google Meet kind of people. So the, one-on-one is still very important. So I make it a point of, it's an important part to come back at least once every quarter to keep, the relationship going. And another reason why I'm even there is that we're an international company now, whether we like it or not. And having to meet people that, your fellow tech bros and seeing what they do is very inspirational, because you're not limited to the Nigerian lens, and you can do bigger things, right? And again, if you want to play big, be big, or you go home. So
I had the chance to end the game, but as a gentleman and a good host and a good person that I am, I let the game play on for longer. Because I'm a nice person, I've extended the game.
I don't know why he said I've extended the game. I appreciate. I don't know what's going on, but it's fine. Did you do that? You did. Right.
Yeah. The boss is really with me today.
Yeah.
That's I think.
So, in the street version of this game, I would have killed you in different ways. Like you can reverse, you can do.
You can reverse. I have never played the way you can reverse. This is crazy. This is 9. So I want to go on the way from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just to get this 6, which. This is why you should not be. This is why you should not be a good person.
And
this
that's
is why,
how.
This is why you should not be a good person. This is why you should not be a good person. See, this world is dog eats dog. You won't get. The only business lesson I'm taking from this is that being a gentleman does not pay. Choose violence always.
Thank you for being noble. I appreciate it.
It's fine. It's been nice having this chat. It's nice playing against you. I look forward to all the things that people will be doing.
Thank you.
If you're watching, this is Zero to Skill, and with me here is Ijeoma Akwiwu. Did I get it?
Akwiwu.
Ijeoma
Yes.
Akwiwu, who's CEO at Pivo. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you for having me.
You don't finish.